Hero, hey, got exposed and it's bad. Oh no, not one of my top 3. What did Hero Hey did this time? Let's get it.
Hey, what's up guys, Ruff here. So in this video I'm going to be talking about Hero Hey, a channel I know a lot of you guys are familiar with. We have a very big audience overlap, so that's why it really pains me in my heart to say this. I must disavow this very intolerant individual. That's
no.
right, very intelligent people on social media who are on the right side of history have informed people like me that Hero Hey is not only a chud, but a very unempathetic chud who is celebrating the firing of individuals at companies like Bethesda. Now, of course, I'm being a bit facetious here, ladies and gentlemen. Put away your pitchforks. But I want to talk about the situation that has made him go viral. So Hero Hey simply shared this clip right here with the caption, obviously describing what is contained in it, talking about Bethesda union members who are protesting after being laid off. And the results are hilarious because these people are top-notch narcissists living in a complete clown world where they believe, thanks to the hug box they've been working at, that they've been producing great games right up until now, including games that are defining generations. Let's watch the clip.
Morale is really low because, we've been told that we're making great games that players love and that we're doing well, and to have this suddenly hit us has been a huge shock to us.
It sucks.
We make all kinds of games, all kinds of people love.
It'd be really nice if we could just get back to work and make them games that will define a generation of video gaming.
I worked at ZeniMax for about 5 years. We are having a march and a rally to demand dignity and respect and an end to the cycle of layoffs.
Now, I actually did.
What? All right. We pretty much watched this yesterday. With how the how the layoffs of ZeniMax and Bethesda. But when you say stopping the cycle of layoffs, that's just normal. That's the life cycle of an employee of every corporation ever. Basically, if a corporation starts hiring on masses, they're gonna hire a lot of people, and then they're gonna do much because they want to show them, oh well, we got a lot of employees working in our company or corporation, we are the best place to work at. And then once their products doesn't hit the required matrix or required ceiling that they could earn a lot of money or their revenue, so basically they have to capsize and they have to reduce their workforce just to save money, and basically the cycle repeats itself. It will never end. There was always gonna be layoffs, there's always gonna be massive hirings. That's just corporation does, especially how well it just did with the current with the current the current climate, with when it comes to inflation, and when it comes to economic type shit. It will never end. You will just get a job, get hired, work there for a couple of years, and then the corporation's gonna fire your ass, and then life goes on, and might as well get hired from another game studio, because they all you already know a bunch of skills from working from your previous title or from your previous role within the previous company. You can just bring that to the new company that you want to work in, because you know what, might as well they could pay you even more because of the required skill, probably more, that you can present, or you can actually be a good asset to them because you know a lot of shit.
Did a bit of a more deep dive into this whole thing on my Patreon with my latest exclusive there. I'll put a link to it in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. But the reason I'm returning today is because people have turned on Hero Hey. People are really mad at him for simply sharing this clip. showing the truth somehow makes him an evil person, as we'll see. But let's see some of the other reactions. People like this saying, it honestly feels good to see at least some of these parasites gone, showing the many modern audience devs over at Bethesda who have been laid off, including this guy who literally branded himself with a hammer and sickle. He went even further than the woke wackadoos on social media who simply have this in their bio. He actually branded himself with this disgusting and embarrassing symbol.
You know what? Even though like the massive layoffs in other studios are pretty bad, a lot of probably like some people like had it worse, even though like they don't even deserve like the layoffs. But you know what? All I could say is that the layoffs are good because we can remove a bunch of parasites that has been plaguing our games for years now, with their terrible writing, with their terrible jokes, and basically terrible pacing, terrible story. Basically, the majority how they make games is basically just them doing their agenda, like share their agenda, representation, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And you know what? We need more layoffs just for these parasites, and for those who are effective that doesn't have any skin in this in this parasite, or doesn't even want to like associate with these parasites. You know what? I would say like, it's tough and it's bad that you got laid off. Might as well use the years of skill and expertise and look for another game studio, because they really want like a good employee or a good developer that has a lot of skills and also work experience. And if you know what, like if you're done being like a hired employee, might as well make your own studio, make your own indie games that that the way that you really want to make. Even if like you're gonna be like a one-man army, or you could work with a small team, go ahead. There's a lot of possibilities, and there's a lot of opportunities that you can do just by doing it with your own two hands. Take control of your destiny.
Here's another quote saying, Patrick Bateman voice. Oh my god. There's even a juniper. Here's another quote saying, once upon a time I may have been more empathetic to their plight, but no more. All I want to know is if this guy got fired. And this guy, in an interview, literally dropped the meme. For a modern gaming audience, this guy actually said the line in a promotional piece of material for the company. Here's a reply saying, remember, the political environment of Bethesda is one in which they felt comfortable posting this days after Charlie was killed. Needless to say, I have no sympathy for them. Yet right after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, they posted this screenshot with the caption, "You don't care much about these fascists, do you?" Very clearly mocking his assassination, glorifying political violence, and making an absolute fool out of themselves on social media. And here's another quote pointing out the obvious. When they're talking about no devs, no games, what games are you even talking about? It's been 10 years and all they've released is 2 flops and some crappy mobile games, one of which is dead. And included in that, of course, is Starfield, right?
Right. If we're gonna talk about like Bethesda games, like the only notable games that are that are pretty much well loved with the community and also with a lot of gamers is probably Fallout 4 and Skyrim. And I guess like the Oblivion as well is pretty much well deserved with the love. But everything else, I don't know, but probably doesn't get like a lot of love or doesn't get a lot of like attention. But like the only notable games is just Fallout 4 and Skyrim. The rest is just meh. So no, it's pretty much like no games.
Course is Starfield, right? And you can see another quote saying, absolutely vindicated. Remember how much they were memeing on him for the whole pronouns clip, right? Acting like he was completely embarrassing himself. Well, guess what? He is more memorable than Starfield,
Oh, shit.
which is an unmitigated disaster, ladies and gentlemen. But here's some more quotes saying, what's crazy is that these are clearly not gamers. They aren't nerds or geeks. They don't actually play Dungeons and Dragons. They don't see
Frickin'
gaming
LARPers.
as their refuge from the world. They are just literal communists and leftist activists. It's no wonder they make garbage. It's a mirror.
That's why we need to bring back chuds. We need to bring back nerds. We need to bring back otakus. We need to bring back geeks. Absolute like code rats, or basically like, you know, like doesn't have a life or just lives in mom's basement, but at least they're passionate in one thing: making good video games. You know what? We need to bring them back into game studios, not these like, what the fuck is this? This is a freaking like a bunch of parasites, and we need to call the exterminator, you know, like to get away from every goddamn game studios and bring back the losers. Yes, what I mean by losers is the people that I mentioned. Bring them back into the game studios because they're the only ones that actually cares about making video games and absolutely like knows how the video game runs, and also they absolutely care about what the players would want in a video game, like the overall experience of a player when playing their game for the first time. First time impression really matters, you know. First impressions.
Here's another one saying, indistinguishable from an Antifa protest. Make of that what you will. Well, much like an Antifa protest, these individuals are unemployed. Here's another reply saying, bunch of theater kid losers, only good for putting fries in the bag. Welcome home. And of course, this image is always used when all of these game developers, all their people in the industry who are getting laid off, they
Holy
get very
shit.
triggered by this image. Just welcoming them home back to the unemployment line. But of course, the quotes are also very mad at Hirohei. Over the last 24 hours,
Here we go.
we have seen a lot of people attacking him and trying to not only misrepresent what he's saying, but getting mad at him for literally sharing the truth. He just shared a clip and really just kind of transcribed it. But people are fuming about the truth coming out. This person saying the quotes and replies are all the proof you need that gamers deserve less than nothing.
Bro. And then these type of people that plaguing game studios, they don't deserve to be in game studios. They don't deserve to work to make video games at all. Because if the sentiment is that like gamers deserve less than nothing, and then you're a game dev at a game studios having this sentiment, yo, like, just, you know what, just go unemployed. Just be unemployed. We don't want you in game studios. You're just making things worse, because not only that you're bashing to your main audience, basically the main consumers that absolutely plays video games, or even like gives you a chance, they will give you a chance to buy your video game and play your video game, because, you know, like, if they see that your game has, you know, like good writing, good characters, or basically like good gameplay, you know, like they'll give it a shot, and if they like it, they'll play it, like play longer. If they don't, then they will just demand a refund. And you will just keep bashing at gamers, bro. Like, like wow, like it's the same, bro. It's the same thing as like the Mean Girls, where they will just be they'll just be like be rude or bullying their target audience, their main audience, and then they still pay. Holy fuck.
Now, I'm pretty sure we don't want people like this representing anyone. He, him, already has people like me blocked. Yeah, you know what? You are the minority here. You're not the target audience. Sorry to reveal that to you, but yeah, we're glad you're mad that Bethesda employees have been laid off and don't understand why their activism and their cringe behavior is part of the problem. But here's another reply saying, why is the even a thing for people to be making fun of people losing their jobs? How has the human race fell to such evil? Think about stuff before you speak like you know.
I mean, there's a lot of people who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. I mean, yeah, we got that. And you know what? Either like people celebrating people losing their jobs and people who celebrating the death of a person. You know what? I prefer like like making fun at people losing their jobs, because at this point it depends on the context. Because these types of people are parasites. Absolute parasites.
I think this person should have took a couple deep breaths and worked on their sentence structure before making this very frantic reply, but we see this in the quotes as well. 13,000 likes cheering on people getting laid off by Microsoft. Are we cooked? You know what? I think a lot of people are very happy to see this. It's called consequences. Don't these woke people love the idea of consequence culture? When it comes to these Bethesda individuals, they have been producing slop, and very little slop, because they're not producing a lot of content. And
right.
Yeah, there's consequences, and people are very happy to see all of these very clearly activists lose their jobs. And that's pointed out in the replies. Do a bad job equals get fired. That simple. Other users saying, none of these people featured in this clip have made anything of value at Bethesda. Starfield was deeply flawed, and I'd wager very few of them were at the studio when Fallout 4 Skyrim was released. They need the grills put to them. This is what happens when you don't produce in the...
True. You know what? Like, just to add more like information, especially during the the massive layoffs of Bethesda and ZeniMax, even I guess like those employees were hired back when Phil Spencer was still the CEO of Xbox, and then they got a new CEO, and then when she saw like a massive amount of employees working at Bethesda and ZeniMax, and the output is pretty much mid or pretty much low quality and not getting the target quota of selling games, because most of the games that Bethesda and ZeniMax just produce is literally just slop. Well, except for Skyrim and Fallout 4. I don't know about Fallout 76, and I don't know, is there like Fallout 5? I never really never really that in the loop. But yeah, the only two notable games and the rest is just slop, basically. So I don't know, it's pretty much it's pretty much common sense. If you don't produce like good products and you're not hitting the target quota for each year, because there's a one of those measurements that, oh yeah, like in this first quarter we already make the target quota, and also we have like a lot of money made from it, so we need to do a good job and also hit our target quotas to be able to survive for next year. And you know what, it is what it is. Like, if you produce no good games or basically slop, they deserve to get capsized. They deserve to be reduced. uh, like massive layoffs, basically reducing the team size so that they could save some money and also be more efficient, because it isn't about like more people equals more efficient. It's pretty much like here's the reality of it. If you have like a team that does like produce content and produce like products or any type of media, just just make sure that every person under your team is efficient and knows what they're doing, especially that they don't need to be supervised 24/7 just to produce one thing. And if the majority of the majority of the team is just dead weight, and you get like a couple of people that absolutely doing their job and also producing one of the greatest qualities of products that they could make, keep them, and the rest they need to get laid off because you're just paying them to do nothing. That is simple. If you are dead weight and not absolutely contributing to the team and not producing, you might just pack your things, go to the front door, and just fuck off. Because that's how working, that's how like jobs work. If you don't do shit, if you're just standing there, do nothing, just like staring out in the open, just get fired, man. Just, I guess, like in that certain job isn't for you, because you didn't do shit.
Original poster says, "Are you a Microsoft employee?" What kind of a response even is this? It makes no sense. But here's another reply saying, "Gamers are the only audience who actively hate the people who make the art they enjoy. It's effing depressing." Bold of you to assume that people are enjoying the content that Bethesda has been crapping out over the last decade. And you can see the replies are locked.
Oh, this motherfucker
the original
loves the
quote
replies.
here locked the replies after the comments weren't going.
I also like another thing, like how a lot of people would, keep complaining, "Oh my god, like AR is taking our jobs. They're taking our jobs, people. We don't have any jobs." It's because, like the companies are sick and tired of dead weights who absolutely does nothing but still gets paid. And at least like the company knows like there are absolute flaws in AI, but like AI tends to hallucinate more frequently, but still they still produce something. And even if that something isn't in the scope or isn't in the aesthetics that the producer wants, they will just keep adjusting until it will get it. But when it comes to a dead weight, like they will just do one thing, and if the producer wants revisions because it doesn't fit with the overall art direction, or it doesn't fit with the whole aesthetic of things, they'll just demand more money and still does the same same shit until it becomes a cycle where revisions pay them more, revisions to pay them more, revisions to pay them more. It's an endless cycle because the dead weight knows how to farm money. And you know what? Like back then, like I think that like AI is pretty bad, because people are losing jobs because of AI. And now once you become like more and more aware with the whole situations, like there's a lot of situation where like a lot of factors would comes in where why would companies would would prefer AI than humans, because like as I said before, freaking dead weights just leeching off money. And you know what, understandable.
The way that they had anticipated. But here's another quote saying, "Stupid morons like Hirohei here love blaming everything on their employees, pouring their heart out to make a great product, but ignore the bigwigs that make all the decisions that F everything up." And Hirohei would quote back saying, "I literally called out all of the corrupt AAA in the same exact post, and have many videos criticizing the executives too. It's funny how rage posters are suddenly rushing to that post trying to run damage control, yet they only self-report how clueless they are."
Glueless.
Also, great product, and it's overpriced corpo slop.
I guess like the good product that like this user mentioned is just microtransactions. The skins, bro, the effects, the weapon skins. It's the great product. Yeah, like I know that there's always gonna be big wigs, executives that makes a lot of mistakes. Some, like most of the times, are just narcissistic mistakes or just egotistical mistakes that, you know what, they deserved everything that they get based on what they, like based on the the actions that they took. Constant actions have consequences, but like these types of people doing damage control, like saying that, oh yeah, we need these types of devs to go back to their tables to make great products. What do you mean great products? Like write another like a manuscript of how to become communism, like how to become communist. Bro, don't you miss me with that shit, man. No, just let them find new jobs, or probably unemployed, or probably just be like a fiction writer.
Corpo slop. And here's another exchange here. This user saying, "The fact that they are terrible game devs does not in any way exonerate the cancerous evil of game company executives." And Hirohei says, "My post literally called out all of corporate or corrupt AAA, which includes the executives." Yeah, they're literally trying to shadowbox at this point, but also beyond shadowboxing, they're posting their threats, saying the gamers are stupid animals that deserve death. Here's another one saying, "The comment section on this makes me believe the most moderate position is to liquefy all gamers into Nutrislop for cattle." The modern audience, ladies and gentlemen, they can't really communicate what they're trying to say or why they're mad about this post that's literally just sharing a clip that actually happened. Instead, they resort to memes and threats and stuff like that.
And also, and these types of people would want to you know what, we need gamers on our side just to help with our protests, to get us back in our jobs as sitting on our tables doing nothing. We need gamers on our side to help with our protest. Yes. In the meantime, we got users right here calling out threats. Really, you know what? That's really helpful. That's really helpful of persuading the gamers to be on your side, while you have these freaking people just screams, just to make the gamers check out early. Are you for real?
Much to be expected, but I appreciate Hirohei for sharing this clip because it is genuinely hilarious. And
Hirohei, my goat.
I know, very insensitive, enjoy seeing people from the industry who are activists, who are literally trying to ruin this medium, finally find out and lose their jobs and sit there stun-locked, going, how did this happen? While trying to literally prop themselves up by saying, hey, remember what this company did probably many years before I even started working there? I don't deserve this. No, I think these people really do deserve what's happening to them, because this is the kind of stuff and the kind of people that have been driving not only Bethesda, but also the gaming industry into the absolute ground. But anyways, that's going to do for this video. If you enjoyed,
W.
please consider giving the video a like.
I'll give this
consider
a like.
subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, great video from Rev. And also, Hero Hey My Goat. I always love, when he posts videos, like good, like actual good topics, because like most of the times where it is, like for me, it's kind of hard to look some good topics on Twitter because my Twitter timeline is kind of tame. Like I don't really go that far, especially on the controversial side. But I really do appreciate like the top 3, which is like Kazahana, Rev, and Hero Hey, to delve deep into the Twitter iceberg. Like they're just digging for gems, and you have me and other people, just to look at those pretty gems and have our reactions to it. I really do appreciate these people. That this is why like they're the top goats, the top G. Yeah, but anyway, in the matter of Bethesda and ZeniMax, as I said before, like those people are activists. You know what? They deserve to be unemployed. They don't deserve to work at Bethesda and ZeniMax because like they're literally spreading cancer inside the game studios. And you know what? I'm really happy that they're just coping, seething. They're just outside, just doing their protests. But eventually, they'll just tire out or just run out of money, and then they'll just go on in their merry ways to be a cancer to anywhere. But, it is what it is. Like, you know what? We need to get rid of activists within the game studios because we don't want them to be there plaguing our video games. Yes, we don't want them plaguing. We don't want them to destroy like everything that we love in video games because they're the main culprits, the main suspects of how like video games, especially in Western game studios, like from masterpiece to dog shit. They need to stop.